Welcome to the house at Hammer built by the nation for the nation. Welcome to Raider Nation News Today. I am your host. I am the tribal chief of Raider Nation. I go by the name of Hammer. Do me a favor. We have that pick. Put those ones up real high in the sky, y'all. Do me a favor.
Acknowledge me.
Hope everybody's having a great Monday wherever you guys are at. Before we go any further, those that have been around, this is year 4. Y'all know the routine. Those new in here, let me teach you real quick. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. It's been a minute. We are live. We are live in the vault. Solo, Dolo. Salute to Dolo. Man, we have a lot to talk about today. It's Black Monday, for those that are unaware. First Monday after the regular season. A lot of firings, a lot of moving, a lot of shaking already, and we have a lot to talk about. And go figure, it's been a minute since we've done one of these. We're going to have a live presser in about 30 minutes. Raiders GM John Spytek take to the podium, and we actually are going to be talking about him during this live as well. And I think, depending on how long we're on for, we may open up the vault line. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from new people as well. And we're going to try to keep it as simple and straight to the point as possible. And again, we're sitting here with the #1 overall pick. We are officially on the clock. Can't wait. We will do a mock draft. We will do it in a couple of different ways for you guys. Not just a mock draft, but this is the official first mock Monday for Raider Nation News Today, as we still have quite some time before the 2026 NFL Draft. Let's do a quick roll call to everybody in here, or for everybody in here, rather. I apologize. Harold Green, Louis G, Ayo Anthony, Central Coast Raps, Franklin Skinner, True Raider, CGR, Johnny Kicknuts, trade back. Don't start your shit, Johnny Kicknuts. Taino, salute. Edgar, what's up? Rorschach, salute. I think I got everybody so far. Hummers, Demented Raider. Definitely haven't seen you in a while. I hope all's well, man. TNVG, Just Raiders, baby. Appreciate you, my guy. Let's see. Rob, the resident meathead, is in the building. Mr. L.A. Rob. Yeah, we got to fix that chat. Yeah, that's good for now. Mr. L.A. Rob.
Yeah.
Let's see. Free Thinker, Wap and Bus. Got to throw those flags up. Real ones know. Way I say, way I know. Dominique 5, salute. We're living the best Raider timeline now. Space Beast, salute. You ain't lying, bro. Leaky, salute. Oos. I think I'm... are we really? You know what? I'm highlighting this because this is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. And yeah, I think we can... Little HBK, sexy boy, in the chat. I love it. Salute to True Raider. And damn, Daniel Cap's already bringing the heat. He's already dropped a couple. He's gifted 5 Raider Nation News Today memberships. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Let's highlight that. And guys, you want to support the channel, keep the lights on here. The link is pinned to the top. Again, a lot of things have gone on. You know, I haven't really been on throughout the season. Life happens. I'm going to do my best to try to be on it, even if it's once, twice a week right now. As we get closer and closer, it's still a ways away. Again, Mondays, I think we could do our mock Mondays. Tuesdays, might be able to do something during the day. Try to get on for at least 45 minutes to an hour. Again, this doesn't grow without each and every single one of you guys. Your support means the world to me. I'm going to try my damnedest to do a little bit better by each and every single one of y'all. And salute to the 123 that we already have in here. We have 50 likes already. Get those likes up. Let's get to 100. Let's get to the algorithm jumping. There's 51. We are on YouTube. We are on X. We are on Instagram, if I remember correctly. CGR had to do another one. And he just gifted 5 Raider Nation News Today memberships. It's been a minute, and it feels good to be back. I feel like I'm truly home right now, being back on with you guys like this. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. It's really hard to keep up with you guys in the chat, but salute to CGR. Thank you so much. I feel like I'm home again. It's been way too long that since I've done one of these. So yeah, we're back. We're good. 6 minutes. I feel like I'm already starting to digress, but let's get into it, guys. And let's adjust this real quickly as well. Hold on. Oh, there it is. And the IG one I might have to get rid of because it looks really, really bad. But here we go, guys. This is what you guys have been here for. This is what you guys are waiting for to start. This is what we're here to talk about. So, topic number one. We've heard the whispers for weeks, but the hammer has officially dropped in Vegas. Pete Carroll is out. The Silver and Black have officially secured the number one overall pick in the 2026 draft. And again, we still have so much to talk about. So much to talk about. But the major headline as it pertains to this not breaking news anymore, but this happened at about 11 o'clock this morning. Mark Davis has relieved Pete Carroll of his duties after just one season. Look, we all wanted that win forever energy. We wanted the change of culture. We were looking and anticipating 10 plus wins. I said this after 3-4 weeks. We were looking at a 2-15, 3-14 team, and we finished at 3-14. Finished 3-14 with a 10-game losing streak to end the year. Obviously, you're not going to survive in Vegas. Reports were coming in for quite some time. It was a one and done decision, and it was heavily influenced by the vision for the future. John Spytek is still here. Again, we're going to hear from him at the podium in less than a half hour. But Pete's era is over before it even really started. Was it the right move? Yes. We're not going to waste the number one pick on a placeholder. Absolutely not. So I think right now it was coming for a very long time. We saw the writing on the wall. I just there's not much to say. Pete Carroll isn't here anymore. Uncle Pete, as I would call him, is no longer the head coach. It has been one thing after the next. We saw things throughout the training camp. We saw things throughout the season. The firing of Chip Kelly after 9 weeks in the season. JPJ, you guys having him start as opposed to being the natural center he was. You guys put him in at guard. I had no objections to it because I like what I saw out of JPJ. Definitely an amazing pulling guard. Jermaine Pratt being released after the loss to the Colts. Jacoby Myers being traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars after we lost to the Jaguars. Raheem Mostert not being active the first 3-4 weeks of the season. Ashton Genty not being utilized to his full potential the first couple of weeks of the season. He missed out on 1,000 rushing yards yesterday, which absolutely broke my heart, and it probably broke a lot of your hearts in Raider Nation as well. But now we move on. There's a bigger, brighter picture ahead, and we're going to move on to that topic at hand. Yes, we now have the number one overall pick in the 2026 NFL draft. After the win that the Giants had yesterday over the Dallas Cowboys, that secured our spot with the number one overall pick. This is the first time since 2007 we hold all the cards. What better fit for the Raiders to be in Vegas, and now we're holding all the cards as we approach the 2026 NFL draft. Obviously, we know the last time we had that number one overall, who it was, what it was, and what the hell happened. And it wasn't a great thing for us in any way, shape, or form. Times have changed, people have changed, and look, this is a completely fresh start for us. We still have John Spytek as our GM. Tom Brady, our minority owner, is going to have a lot to say about this as well moving forward. And at some point during this live, I want to talk about him as well. It's no digs, it's no shots, but it is some things that I would like to get off my chest after having thoughts about this for the last few weeks, after having a conversation with, I'm going to leave that person anonymous for the time being, but I will say this, may be making his return very, very soon. We shall see. But again, this pick, as we hold the number one overall pick, this pick isn't about a player. It's the ultimate bait for the next head coach. Realistically, did we get something? We got a super. I don't want to fall off of my point today either. Trucker Mark, salute to you on that $2. Appreciate you, Van City. Salute my neighbor in the north. Again, I don't want to get off track with this right now, but this isn't just, again, this is ultimate bait for the next head coach. We talked about this in terms of Ben Johnson, who is now with the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears won in his first year as head coach for the Bears. They won the NFC North. They are in the playoffs. He already had a quarterback there, a quarterback in place. A quarterback was a face of the franchise for many years to come in Caleb Williams. We kind of know why he went there. Whether it's Fernando Mendoza from Indiana, who just lit the world on fire, beating the dog shit out of Alabama, or someone like Dante Moore, who hasn't even declared yet, this is definitely the most attractive job for any head coach to want to come and coach right now. We know a couple of other teams are now without head coaches. Steven Stefanski was fired from the Cleveland Browns. Raheem Mostert of the Atlanta Falcons was fired. The head coach or former head coach now from the Arizona Cardinals was fired. Let me get these names correct because I'm gonna feel like an asshole if I fuck these up. Again, Stefanski is out. Raheem Morris is out. I almost said Mostert. I almost slipped there. And the Cardinals head coach Gannon is Jonathan Gannon. There we go. Jonathan Gannon is also relieved of his duties. Now, there's already reports that Stefanski is going to be visiting Tennessee and the Giants just for starters. We were not mentioned in that conversation, which is perfectly fine. Now we move on. Again, I said this before. This is really GM John Spytek and Tom Brady's search right now. They're the ones that are going to be doing this search and their due diligence on who the next head coach could be. Again, I'm looking at them leading the charge. Brady is a minority owner. His finger is on the pulse for this search. We're hearing names already, and I'm going to break down a couple of different names. I want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. And when I open up the vault line, that's definitely one thing I want to hear from you guys as well. But there's names being thrown around right now, and there is a wild card because I know a lot of people haven't heard this name yet. But you're looking at guys like Joe Brady, which his name has been thrown around. We've brought him up a few times as well from Buffalo. Brian Flores from the Minnesota Vikings. Here's a dark horse. Here's a wild card. This is one that's going to be like, wait, are you kidding me? Are you serious with this right now? Kurt Cignetti, the head coach from Indiana. Mark Davis wants a culture shifter. We've talked about the whole change of culture and everything. Tom wants an offensive innovator to protect that number one pick. We are looking for long-term marriage here, not a quick fix. We're not going to be going through this revolving door again. Now that we do have this number one overall pick, we're not going that direction of, oh, we're going to hire this guy, see what he does for a year. Next, we're not going through that. We're not going through that at all. And like I said, I do want to go through these candidates. I do want to break down these three names, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this as well. Let me go back to the chat real quickly because I feel like, they're throwing up the roundtable thing. No Diddy. Again, once John Spytek takes to the podium, we're going to talk about that most definitely. Let me get hold on. Trying to see where we're at here. Okay, we are good. Let me get back to the chat real quick. I like Brian Flores and Dable. Again, we are going to talk about this. Wait, what? We have not let a coach build this team. No, we've had coaches come in that have brought their guys in or guys that they had previous experience with, and it didn't work out. Mark Anthony for OC. What? Huh?
Welcome to the dark side.
We got a new member. Mr. Manny, appreciate you. Thank you so much. And you heard Unc. Welcome to the dark side. No Flores. I'm a defensive mind watching. They're doing their own thing over there. Once this starts up, I'm going to play it. And as long as you guys don't hear that, I think we're good right now. And yeah, we're good. Once Once we see Spytek at the podium, I'm gonna bring you that in its entirety, guys. Most definitely. Yes, please offer Signetti whatever. Oh, see, Dominique 5. I like where you're going. Does Davis get a third round pick if he hires a black coach, or is that no? That true. The Rooney Rule still does apply. The Rooney Rule is that's not going anywhere. Leaky, I've talked about Kingsbury, but he is not a name that I'm going to be talking about during this live. Should be no, it should be voided. It should be voided. And this was what Mark Davis had to say earlier. The Las Vegas Raiders have relieved Pete Carroll of his duties as head coach. We appreciate and wish him and his family all the best. Moving forward, General Manager Spytek will lead all football operations in close collaboration with Tom Brady, including the search for the club's next head coach. Together, they will guide football decisions with a shared focus on leadership, culture, and alignment with the organization's long-term vision and goals. So there you have it from our owner, Mark Davis. So let's talk about it. Again, I'm real curious to hear your guys' thoughts once I break these down. I'm very, very intrigued to hear how you guys are going to react to each and every single one of these names. And I just mentioned 3 of them as well. Thank you, Ty. He just became a member. Appreciate you, my guy. Again, you want to support me, keep the lights on here. The link is pinned at the very top of the chat. All right, let's get into it. That's going to go off the screen momentarily anyways. All right, here we go. Here is first up, the man who turned Josh Allen into a perennial MVP candidate, and that is Joe Brady. His scheme, it's all about spacing and explosive shots. Brady doesn't just run the system, he builds around what his QB does best. In Buffalo, he's utilized 12 personnel. For those that don't know, 12 personnel is 2 tight ends. He's done that better than anyone in the league, creating mismatches for guys like Dalton Kincaid. Now, why does that fit for us? Imagine Bowers and Michael Mayer in a Joe Brady system. He loves positionless football. If the Raiders draft a dual threat guy, Brady is the one who will let him use his legs to set up the 50-yard bombs. He's young, he's hungry, he's exactly the kind of offensive genius this franchise has lacked since the early 2000s. So that's one guy that we could take into consideration most definitely, especially if you look at that in terms of a 12 personnel. That's one. Number 2, and this name has been talked about a lot recently, and it's the Vikings defensive coordinator, Brian Flores. Other side of the ball, obviously, but the scheme, it's called the disguise and destroy defense. He runs a 3-4 base, but he's famous for his 6-man fronts where nobody knows who is rushing, who's dropping in coverage. In 2025, he led the NFL in blitz rate and 3-man rushes. It's a total psychological warfare for that defense. The Dable twist. Rumor is if Flores gets a job, he brings in Brian Dable as his offensive coordinator. That is a powerhouse combo for us. You get the toughest defense in the league and the guy who developed Josh Allen realistically, Daniel Jones not so much. With Tom Brady's blessing, this New England South vibe could finally work because Flores brings the no-nonsense attitude Vegas desperately needs. Flores is definitely a guy that has been on my list, a guy that's been on my radar. I would not mind having the combination of Brian Flores and Brian Dable in the building. Our third candidate, again, I'm only going by these 3 today. We have a presser that's going to be on in about 10 minutes. We're going to talk about that. I think Paul Gutierrez right now is being interviewed. Again, when Spytek takes to the podium, we'll talk about it. Lastly, the wild card that I mentioned earlier, Curt Cignetti. Scheme, this is the Mendoza special. At Indiana, Cignetti runs a lightning-fast spread option attack that focuses on calming the pocket. He took Mendoza, a guy who was getting sacked 40 times a year at Cal, and turned it into a Heisman winner who only got sacked 6 times last season. That's a huge, huge improvement right there. In terms of our fit, if Mark wants Mendoza, if Spytek and Brady want Mendoza, you hire the guy who knows his DNA already, the guy that has significant familiarity with him already. It's safe, it's efficient, it's a winning machine. It's a bold leap from college, but after the whole Uncle Pete experiment, maybe bold is exactly what we need at this point in time. Maybe I'll put this up in the comments. I'll put this to the poll for you guys to see what you guys think. But right now, those are 3 names those are the names I'm going to talk about today. There are other names out there that I would love to put into consideration. Cliff Kingsbury is a guy that I've spoken about, but I've spoken about off air to Wasted. We had a conversation about that, I think like a week or so ago. Um, Anything is possible right now. Anything is on the table right now. We need a OC as a head coach. I'm going to put this in the poll real quick. I'm going to see what you guys think. Again, this is the first live we've done, first solo live we've done in a while. We're going to have other names that we're going to talk about as we continue to go through this head coaching search. Like I said, Cliff Kingsbury is another guy that I've talked about. Clint Kubiak is a guy that we have talked about. Chris Shula is another guy that we have talked about. But right now, those are the three names that I'm talking about today. And Joe Brady, Brian Flores, and Coach Cignetti. So let me go to the poll. I'm going to put this up for you guys. Let's end the first one. And how many of you guys actually broke your thumbs today? 96 of you. For the 4 that didn't, kick rocks. Start a poll. Putting it up. Flores, Brady, all right, we're starting the poll. Just threw it up. Flores, Brady, Cignetti. I'm gonna look at it for a sec. Maybe I won't. But you guys are already jumping with it, and we have over 230 in here, 115 likes, and still going. I wish I knew I had an answer for that, but I don't. I don't understand why you wouldn't go take that flyer on a guy with the experience, especially as an offensive coordinator, and Joe Brady. Again, a lot of these guys recently with these head coaching positions that became head coaches were coordinators. Liam Cohen, Jacksonville is in the playoffs, right? His first year as head coach, they're in the playoffs. Again, Ben Johnson left Detroit, a very high-powered offense in Detroit for the head coaching vacancy in the division, which was very, very surprising. But again, he already had his quarterback set there. NFC North champs, they're in the playoffs as well. I don't see why not. And the Bills are in the playoffs for those that aren't aware. Wild card granted, but even so, Lane Kiffin, I see that space piece. You need to offer Cignetti a massive deal. Indiana has him for 8. Look, whatever the NFL offers him is probably going to, or at least what the Raiders offer him, is probably going to be more than what Indiana offered him. Real talk. He's making 90? You never know. Never know. Let's see. Several names I like, but how many aren't interested because we've been But here's the thing, Hummers. It's different now. We sit here again. We have all the cards. We have the number 1 overall pick. The next head coach can get their guy. We have seen this over the last few years with teams that have been successful with these quarterbacks that they have drafted in the first round. Look at Washington. Look at ooh, excuse me. Look at Houston. Like, realistically, look at Chicago right now. Sigs likes using a 2-bag system as well. And I've talked about this. We messed around with a mock draft yesterday, and I took the kid out of Oregon, Whittington. Like, I definitely want another running back to complement Ashton Genty, most definitely. If Cignetti was an option, he'd be my option too. Okay. Cignetti only if we're going the Mendoza route. Pulled. Okay. See, so a lot of you guys kind of can't really see the poll. Like, it won't let me. I don't want to. It's going to sound weird, so let me not. Oh, here we go. I can actually see it now. So 35 of you. This is actually a very, very neck and neck from the 52 people that have voted so far. Flores is 33. Brady is 33. Cignetti is 35. Wow. I'm going to leave that up for a little bit. And again, we're waiting for John Spytek to take to the podium and we will bring you guys the presser in its entirety. There really is dead even. Now it's 33 down the board. It's dead even. Jesus. Okay. We are way more enticing than people say who wouldn't want to pummel Andy Reid and Harbaugh too. Well, there's another name that has actually been thrown around. I just had this conversation with somebody earlier today. I'm not saying yes, let's do this. I'm just gonna I want to see what your guys' thoughts are in the chat. I know I said I'm only gonna talk about the three that I just mentioned. There's a name I'm gonna put out there for you guys right now, and I'm very curious to hear how you guys are gonna react. John Harbaugh. I'm not being funny about it either. John Harbaugh. I honestly hope we don't screw around and draft Moore instead. Well, look, Moore hasn't declared. He has until January 15th. Mel Kiper has said that he would be the number one overall prospect going into this if Moore, in fact, declares. But yeah, I don't think Mike McDaniels gets fired. I do not think he gets fired. I don't. Would I like to bring him in as an OC? I would consider it, definitely. No more retreads. Nope. No. Okay. Okay. Look, again, this is something that was brought to my attention. I'm not saying, yeah, let's get you. No, 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 no. Like, let's pump the brakes on that. I'm not saying I'm all in on that, anything like that. So, similar philosophy. Okay. 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 L11. Again, this is just a question. I feel like I'm already getting booted off the cliff. It was. I'm just asking. I'm just asking, guys. They're talking about some of the things from yesterday, and this was another thing that I brought up in terms of where we stand right now. And this was something that um I talked about earlier in terms of, and this was off air, in terms of building blocks already. Um Brock Bowers, Ashton Genty. You guys are again, you guys are gonna be like, what the hell? Tyree Wilson. Tyree Wilson had probably one of his best games yesterday. Does the next head coach, does John Spytek and Tom Brady say, hey, we want to pick up your 5th-year option? Do you feel that putting Max on IR for the last 2 games was a way to get a little bit more of a look of the first round pick from 3 years ago? I think that there's a potential, there's a possibility that they could go that route and maybe pick a look. Again, you have a couple foundational pieces. You drafted Thornton last year. You drafted Besh last year. And I said it when those guys were drafted that I looked at them as potential cornerstones of the offense alongside Bowers, Genty, Michael Mayer, even. No, I'd wait to. Well, no, 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 no. You could pick up the 5th-year option and then let him play out the 5 years of his contract, CGR. So Mr. Akon said Tyree for depth. Okay. If Green Bay fires their coach, then I'm all for. Are you talking about LaFleur? You're talking about LaFleur. Okay. Dable's ego runs him now. He's not a head coach, so realistically, Space Beast, he's not a head coach. So potential top 8 candidates right now: Vance Joseph, Chris Shula, Jeff Hafley, who's Green Bay's defensive coordinator, rather. Matt Nagy, KC's offensive coordinator. Joe Brady, we just talked about him. Robert Salah, San Francisco's defensive coordinator. I'm not bringing him in as a head coach. Jesse Minter is another name that has been brought up as a defensive coordinator and probably still is a defensive coordinator. So those are a couple of names to keep an eye out on. There was one more. I didn't get to see it. Let me see if I can go back and see that real quick. Clint Kubiak, who we've talked about Kubiak. So actually, I'm going to look at this again, and I'll talk about some of the names that we have talked about and some of the names that we talked about not affiliated with this live today. Clint Kubiak is a name that we have talked about on several occasions. Joe Brady we talked about before. Chris Shula. So realistically, 3 of those names are the names that we have talked about. 1, 2. Yeah, 3 of those names out of the potential 8 as the top 8 candidates are names that we have talked about. I mean, I can take these names and put them to a poll right now if you guys want me to, and you guys can place your vote on that instead of the 3 that we talked about. It's entirely up to you guys. Hire Salah or a great offensive head coach. Okay, Raider Houston. Kubiak definitely on the front office radar. We've talked about Kubiak on several occasions over the last few weeks. We've talked about Shula as well. So I'm looking at these guys, but also I'm talking the names that I brought up as well. Brian Flores, Joe Brady, and Craig Signetti. Could be. I'm surprised that we didn't hear anything or news didn't break this morning that Aaron Glenn was fired. that was They said that defense really looked like complete dog shit towards the tail end of the season. So I don't know. We shall see. Yeah, I know it's kind of, but you've seen the defense, right? You've seen defense the last 2 years, right? Like, doesn't surprise me. Wasted for DC and Graf for OC. That actually is possible. That is possible. I think they would have to do it. I think they have to do it via Zoom, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it is possible. Raheem Morris. Would I bring in Raheem Morris as a D coordinator, or would I bring him in as a head coach? Wasted for Brady and Graf head coach. Vance Joseph is eligible than every high school coach in America. Jesus, that's disturbing. That's incredibly disturbing. I just said that, Danny. I just said Raheem Morris. I wouldn't mind having him as a defensive coordinator. Like I definitely would not mind that. Let me fix this because God forbid he starts the presser and I'm already like past it. All right, so we're good. We're just waiting now for the start of the presser whenever it happens. And like I said, I do want to open up the vault line. We're over 100 likes. I appreciate each and every single one of y'all. True Raider, you're going now. Jeff Saturday was a high school coach and beat McDaniel. That's a fucking fact. But let's not remind the nation about that shit. But we're just waiting for this presser. I'm looking through the chat and seeing what you guys are saying. And look, I love how much you guys are interacting right now, and everybody has a different opinion. Houston, I talked about Kingsbury, and I actually mentioned him again. Starting this live today, I only mentioned 3: Flores, Brady, Signetti. You guys see it in the poll, and I asked you guys, and right now, Flores takes the lead at 45. Second is Signetti at 30, and 25 for Brady. But I did talk about Kingsbury, and I go straight from he went to DC. He's the OC there now. What he has done, at least for the rookie campaign, because Jaden Daniels did battle injuries this past season, but he's done a phenomenal job there as an offensive coordinator. Um, would I interview him? Yes, I would. I would definitely interview him and see what the possibilities are. Started a new win streak against KC. We sure did. Did you hear what Todd McShay said about Moore? Nobody wants to be a Yeah, and the thing with Moore is there's things that have already been said. That's why I'm kind of like, yeah, all right. There's reports out there already that he is a lock on staying one more year at Oregon. So it's again, January 15th is the deadline for players to declare for the draft. If that's being said, and this is coming from various people, various sources, that he's pretty much in agreement with, like, his family, his coaching staff, everybody. He wants to stay one more year at Oregon, then we see what happens. But then again, we look at this matchup against Indiana in the coming days, and how's his performance going to look compared to what it did last week? um is that going to shoot his draft stock up more if he has a ridiculously crazy offensive performance against Indiana? We'll see. We will see. Kingsbury, I think, is a good OC. Not sure he could do it as a head coach. Also, he is always with really mobile QBs, not like Mendoza. That's a valid ass point. And Bourbon, welcome back. Welcome home. Glad to see you back in the chat, bro. All love. Hope all is well, man. Okay. What will be the bridge QB situation look like if we draft a QB? One name that I have talked about, one guy I would love to have here as a bridge gap would be Malik Willis. There's rumors, rumblings all over the place about trading for Lamar Jackson, trading for Joe Burrow. I don't know if I necessarily want that. Lamar Jackson, yes, two-time MVP. Lamar Jackson also often injury prone. I much rather get a young guy, and have him here as our quarterback for years to come. 1,000%. Spytek.
This morning, ownership and myself met with Coach Carroll. After a lot of discussions, we made a decision to go in a different direction. We informed Coach Carroll of that this morning. I want to thank Coach Carroll from the ownership perspective and from my personal perspective as well. He was a great partner. In my first year in this job, he worked tirelessly to give Raider Nation, the team, and the outcomes and the results that they wanted and deserve. He was a wonderful person to deal with for me personally on a day-to-day basis. And I'm just very grateful to have had the opportunity to work with him, a great coach like him for a year. And this organization, the ownership, myself, wish him nothing but the best in the future. We're truly grateful for his efforts. I also want to make it extremely clear, too, that I bear a ton of responsibility for the outcome of this season and our record. This isn't on any one person, and really, I don't want anyone to think that anyone deserves more responsibility than me in that. It's something I'm very aware of. I think about all the time, and am determined to get right. And the accountability should start and stop with me, and that needs to be said. I want to thank all of our coaches, all of the players, all of the support staff, that despite our record, they worked tirelessly, they poured their hearts into it, they never wavered, and it was great to see that culminate with a win yesterday. They battled to really the final play of the season, and I think that was a true revelation of their character, and they all should have a lot to be proud of. We have a massive opportunity in front of us this offseason to set this organization, this franchise on a course for success and provide the results that the Raider Nation and the Las Vegas community deserves and expects. We intend to tack it full on. The work has already begun. I think we're all aware of all the resources that Mark and ownership group have given to us. Obviously, there's the draft. We have capital. We have one of the greatest buildings, if not the greatest building in the NFL. There's a lot to be excited about here, and it is going to be my responsibility to lead this up and set this organization on a course of sustained success. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you all have.
There's got microphones on either side here. So we'll start with John, just curious, having the first pick overall in the draft, how much did that kind of play into this to do sort of a full reset with your coach and whoever it is that you guys end up drafting?
Just because we have the first pick in the draft, that didn't carry a lot of weight in the decision that we made. I think we have a great opportunity to build this franchise the right way now. We never want to be in this spot again. I never thought I would be in this spot, but we got to be real with where we're at. We have to understand the opportunity that we have in front of us, and our focus and our vision is on everything going forward now.
John, with your first pick as an NFL GM, you selected Ashton Jeanty. Can you give an evaluation of how you feel his rookie season went? And also, what do you think are some steps you feel like you need to take to maximize his potential as you continue to evolve the team?
Yeah, I'm proud of Ashton. It wasn't an easy season for him. He showed up every day and worked. He showed up every game and competed. He was always available for his teammates. He was an exemplary worker. And, we've got to do a better job surrounding him with a lot of players that can help him too. And, his success, I know there's been a lot of narratives out there that he didn't have the season that, maybe he deserved or you would expect from the 6th overall pick. Well, that's fine, but it's not just Ashton. There's 10 other people that are out there with him, and it's our job to put a great group of guys around him to help him realize his potential.
John, two questions. Number one, do you expect your new coach to have the autonomy to pick his own staff, or do you think that you would have input in that as well?
I want to turn that over to the coach. I mean, we're going to have a lot of great conversations about who, why, where. There's going to be a lot of great football conversations, but my belief has always been, you know, you give a lot of the responsibility to the head coach to hire the staff that he wants to hire. It's who reports to him and who he works with every day.
And moving forward, would you expect on a more regular basis to have Tom in the building physically?
I have a great relationship with Tom. We're in constant communication daily, and whether he's in the building or not, you know, our conversations are very much similar. So I always love seeing him. He's one of somebody I've learned a lot from every time I've had a chance to sit in a room with him, but we've had a lot of great phone conversations as well.
You mentioned building around Ashton. When you build out your offensive line moving forward, how much will you take into consideration the experience in those offensive linemen?
We're gonna attack this entire offseason with an extremely open mind, and you know, anybody that can help bolster that offensive line and do the job required will be considered. You know, we have a lot of capital, cap space. We've got some elite draft picks, and you know, adding a veteran presence in there or two would be helpful, but not necessarily an absolute necessity. We're not going to begin with the end in mind.
John, excuse me. Could you describe Brady's level of involvement in the decision to part ways with Pete Carroll?
I would just say that, you know, everything was evaluated, you know, as the season went and over the last couple days. And I talk to him almost every day, and we have a great relationship. He trusts me. We tell each other the truth, and you know, we just had a lot of conversations about it. And ultimately, we made the decision that this was in the best interest of the Raiders.
I like that.
Just a follow-up question. Did you feel like, because I know Pete mentioned earlier how in the beginning with your relationship, you guys kind of didn't see eye to eye on certain things, which can happen. But I was wondering, did you feel like the two of you were operating on different timelines at that time? And like, how did that relationship develop over the course of the year?
I wouldn't say that we were operating on different timelines, and I've also never been in a relationship where we both agree all the time. I mean, ask my wife, she'll tell you that. You know, anything that we didn't always agree on, we talked about. I had a great relationship. He was always in my office. I was always in his office. You know, we collectively sat in the space together until we felt like we could make the best decision in the Raiders. And we didn't obviously get everything right. And again, put the responsibility on me. I've got to do a better job on that standpoint. But
He's still here.
Coach
Pete's
and I had a
not.
great
Long
relationship
story
from my
short.
perspective. And because we didn't agree all the time, had nothing to do with it. I don't know actually a great relationship where everybody agrees all the time. I think that would
Fake.
actually be counterproductive.
Obviously, once
Okay, sorry, behind the
no,
phone.
once the offseason commences, obviously a lot of teams around the league will inquire about Max Crosby in a trade. Do you view him as a untradeable, untouchable player moving forward once the offseason starts?
I have a lot of respect for Max and how much he loves to play the game. And I've had the opportunity in the last several weeks to spend a lot of time with Max. And I think it's been well documented that he didn't love the idea of not playing football. And I think you always want that from your best players. In fact, I think that's why they're your best players. So I love Max. He embodies what a Raider is. I've been pretty upfront with that from the day that I sat up here almost a year ago. And I continue to believe that.
Hey, John, everything happened so quick last year with your hiring and Pete. So this is kind of the first time in your position where you'll be such a big part of the coaching search. What are you going to prioritize? What are some things you're looking for in the next coach?
We're looking for someone to build this the right way and not think that, you know, we've got to produce 10 wins or whatever next year. That'd be great to do. And we see teams like the Patriots and the Jaguars flip it. You know, I've always kind of thought that you're never as good in this league as you think you are, and you're never as far away as you think you are. And we're just going to go in open-minded. You know, the work has begun upstairs this afternoon, and I've got to get back up here in a little bit and keep going. But we're going to prioritize, you know, whoever's the best coach for the Las Vegas Raiders is who we're going to hire. And we're not beginning with the end in mind. And we want a meticulous build that will set us up for years of success in the future. And we have a great opportunity to do that with everything that we have out in front of us right now.
Two questions. What do you think ultimately happened this year to lead to where you guys ended up, number one? And secondly, what's the status of the assistant coaching staff? Are they being brought back, or were they let go as well?
Yeah. I mean, obviously we didn't win enough games early in the year. Sometimes I go back to the Bears game where we were 1-2 and they're 2-1, and we turned it over 4 times. We got a kick blocked, and we really had that game won about 3 or 4 different times. And it's kind of been my experience where that kind of win can propel you, or that one can kind of sink you. And I think we all know how the season went after that. You know, we got a couple of our guys hurt that were big blows to us. But listen, those are just excuses. I mean, we just didn't perform well enough. We didn't play well enough. We didn't do the right things consistent enough to win games. And, you know, you are what you are. We're 3-14, and we've got a lot of work to do. The other part of it was about the assistant coaches. They're all currently under contract. I met with them a couple hours ago, and we talked through the next steps, but they're all currently under contract right now.
What are some of the traits that you and Tom have that you believe will help you collaborate together to move the football operations forward in a positive manner?
You know, I think people sometimes misunderstand mine and Tom's relationship. We played together 1 year at Michigan, and then we didn't talk for 20 years. Then he came to Tampa, and so. But what really resonates with Tom and I think, is our shared vision of what football is, and a lot of it goes back to Michigan. I think I've talked about this a little bit, but just the idea of work ethic and accountability and discipline and a team built on really the team. I mean, it's kind of runs through my head, the team. I can see it written on the walls at Schembechler Hall and see Bo Schembechler saying it. And we see football similar. We don't see it the same. We have plenty of discussions and disagreements, and, you know, I'm not afraid to tell him that. I think that's kind of why he likes me. But I do believe that we see things similar, and we've both had a lot of success seeing it that way. And I think we know what we're after, and it's up to us now to go find it.
Hugh Myers, Raider Nation Radio 920. Now that you have a year under your belt and you kind of know what you have and what you don't have, what is that shared vision that you and Tom have putting this team together?
Well, it's about team before self. It's about discipline. It's about accountability. It's about work ethic. Winning is fun, but it comes at a price, and it is required every day. Otherwise, this league is far too competitive, and he's felt it, I've felt it. You can feel like you're close, but if you're off by a couple different things, you can end up at 3-14. And we've got to put a process and a system in place that demands the best of our players, of our coaches, of our entire football operations, and really the entire building every day. And I've been here a year now. I've got to know MD, ownership. I know what the expectations are. I've got to know the building, I think, really well. And, you know, we've got a plan in place, and we're gonna start working on it. And the goal is constant, meticulous improvement, so that this organization and the Raider Nation can be proud when they walk into Allegiant Stadium.
John, obviously this wasn't the season that anyone anticipated for Geno Smith. What is his status at this point, and could you envision him coming back next year?
Yeah, Geno's under contract for next year. We did that because when we traded for him, we liked him. You know, I'm not going to get too far into the future right now. I'm day by day, but he's one of the guys that's under contract. He's a quarterback. He played some good football this year, and, you know, we'll make those decisions going forward.
I know Q just asked what you learned about the organization over this year. Maybe what did you learn about yourself? And, you know, you dream about this job for a long time. You get on it. I'm sure you didn't picture this season being your first one, but I mean, what did you learn about yourself along the way?
Yeah, I don't really want to make this about me. To answer your question, I'm okay in this space. I'm okay with it being uncomfortable. You know, my life has been ups and downs. I've been rocked to my core personally, and I know I'll be okay. And you just get up every day and you take one step at a time and you keep going and you show up and you work, and you know you can make gains every day. And, you know, I think we have a big mountain to climb, but we're not trying to do it all in one day. And steady success, leadership, and just show up every day will get us a long way. So I don't know if you totally know that until you go through this, but.
John, I was wondering, going back to Brady, do you envision kind of like his involvement to increase moving forward, whether that is not being in the building or whatnot? Like, how would you, because I know in the statement it says close collaboration in all football operations. Just, I was wondering, how would you describe his role moving forward after this year?
Yeah, I know you're kind of on this. I talk to him a lot. You know, he's aware of what we're doing. I don't bore him with the mundane, you know, transactions or all that. But any big decision, I've talked to him about. Any vision, I've talked to him about. He's a great resource for me. He's a great partner in this for me. And I would be not doing a good job and be a fool if I didn't talk to him. You know, he's been supportive of me. He can't be here every day right now, but I promise you, I talk to him a lot, and he and I are on the same page.
Sorry, I know you was mentioned about sustained success. How important would stability be for that to achieve that vision, sustained success? Since this organization has been dealing with coaching changes year in, year out, just how important would stability be in terms of achieving that goal of yours?
I think as the NFL goes, it's important, but this is a largely unstable world we live in. Even when you're good, you have instability because your coordinators take off on you. I mean, there's a couple teams that were great last year and they lost some really good coaches, and it hasn't worked out as well for them this year. So we're always battling every year. It feels like every game, every week, every year you're battling. And so, it'll be built organizationally. We want to define what it means to be a Raider. We want people that are excited to be a Raider. We think that this is an exciting job. And we want people where it means a little bit more to be a Raider. And I think when we can find that, we can find those people that are dying to stay here, dying to come here, dying not to leave here, then, that success with some stability will be created.
John, you described this as a massive opportunity. Could you just speak a little bit more on, if done the right way, the impact that the right head coach and a, first overall draft pick can have on the future of this franchise?
I mean, the league is littered with, when you get the top pick right, those guys are franchise-altering players. There's probably no more important hire in an NFL organization than the head coach. They're the daily guy. They set the vision. They set the cadence. They are what touches the players every day and demand excellence from players. And the players are the ones that have to go out there and do it. And the more good players you have and the better person at the helm that you have steering that ship, my experience is the more successful you are. And if you look at, are there two more important hires in an organization than a quarterback and a head coach? I think we probably all would agree that those two men usually steer the ship, and that's out in front of us right now.
Some coaches, I know they're under contract, but have they been given permission to look for other jobs at all? Is that?
I don't want to get too deep into the conversations that I've had with the coaches. They know where they stand.
They're all
last
gone.
Couple of weeks, seeing a lot of these younger guys that you brought into the building that you either drafted or brought into free agency, seeing them play. How excited are you to continue to see them develop? But also, how important is it to you not only bring in more players, but retain a lot of the guys in the building as well that you feel are best fit?
Yeah, I'm proud of the rookie class. It wasn't easy for them. They battled and they got better as the season went, and I think that showed up over the last couple of weeks. But this is the biggest offseason of their careers usually. Guys have a chance to take a massive jump, and if they don't, you kind of wonder why, and a lot of times it's pretty telling. So, they got a massive opportunity that they got to attack this offseason too, and I'm going to spend some time over the next couple of weeks talking to all those men. We've got 10 more draft picks that we have shots this year to try to load it up with more young players, and yeah, I mean, we don't want to let good players leave our building. That's happened around here. I was in charge last year when a couple of good players left the building, and it's one of the things I learned. You got to keep our good players here, and we were talking about it this morning. Just you look around the league, there's some former Raiders that are playing good football somewhere, and I got to do a better job in that world.
John, quickly, you mentioned building and climbing back up to the top here. I'm curious, when you look at this season 25, were you happy with how the rookie class was developed? Is there anything different you would like to see moving forward?
I'm not real happy right now in 3-14. I would just go back to I'm proud of those guys for them competing, and I think they're the right kind of guys and they're about the right things. And my experience has been when you add the right kind of people to an organization, whether it's scouts, analytics people, wellness, players, you'll be okay. And we'll just keep trying to do that with players too.
Okay, great. Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Appreciate you all coming.
All right, there you guys have it. We're gonna switch.
All right, so John Spytek just spoke. A couple of my takeaways. How accountable he was for the record and his job, even though they did not retain.
Uh-oh. There we go. All right, so you guys heard everything. That was I'm very happy. Happy might not be the word. I'm glad that he took to the podium today. He was very transparent. He took accountability for some of these things that happened. Not entirely his fault. We know that. They asked questions about him and Pete Carroll bumping heads and everything. Again, I think we're probably going to see a decision made. Like we saw the decision made in terms of our next head coach towards the end of January of last year. I think it's probably going to be something similar around that time because we also had to take into consideration the draft combine. We still have these bowl games as well that are going on, the college football playoffs, that is. And also getting into that room and starting to sit collectively and talk about where do we go from here? What are we doing with this draft class? Are we taking a quarterback? Is there somebody else you have in mind? Like whether it being free agency or via trade. And no, I'm not saying this is what I'm doing, but these are the things that you have to think about. Like, and look, we're all fans here. People have different IQs when it comes to their knowledge of football as well, but this is still a process. And this is going to be a process, and it's going to take its due diligence for them to make the conscious decisions. You heard John Spytek say him and Tom Brady are going to be very meticulous about this. And this leads me to what I wanted to talk about as it pertains to our minority owner in Tom Brady. Now, we know I had a conversation with somebody off air, and pretty much it was like he's got one foot in the door, the other's out the door. Meaning, yeah, he has his minority ownership stake with the Las Vegas Raiders, but also he works for Fox. So I've had this conversation with people about this as it pertains to Tom Brady and his deal with Fox. And look, he's got 375 million other reasons to have that foot out the door, right? Halfway in, halfway out. He has a 10-year contract with Fox Sports as a commentator. Again, 10 years, $375 million, which he makes $37.5 million a year for those that like to do math. Okay. So the ownership stake, if I remember correctly, that he purchased, and I believe this was with investors, whatever. For the Las Vegas Raiders, it's 10%. 10% is $660 million. Think about that. And I've said this to people a million times. If I were to ever win the lottery, bro, if you want to pull up, you are more than welcome to. Seriously, if you want to pull up, you are more than welcome to. And yes, Wasted was the one that I had this conversation with. If you want to pull up, please let me know. I will send you the link. I would love to have you join right now and let's have this discussion. I don't know if you saw the presser, but I would absolutely love to have you join right now. So again, $375 million, right? $37.5 million a year. $660 million in ownership stake. Now, I've said this to people. If I were to win the lottery, one thing I would do, if I were to win something like a large amount, I would invest. I would invest and get a specific ownership in a professional sports team, maybe even like a professional soccer team. You know why? You're never going to go broke. You're going to keep recycling that money. You want to change this organization. You want to change. You want to make change for the better. You want this to be a team that is competitive. I'm not using compete anymore. But you want a team that's going to be in the playoffs, that is a team that can be talked about as a championship contender year in, year out. With all due respect, Mr. Brady, leave Fox and stay inside Henderson. Keep your ass, no Diddy if necessary. Be 100% invested in this organization. If you saw what you saw this past season, you want to be that reason for change. Yes, you got a guy, a college teammate, and you heard Spytek say it before. They didn't talk for almost 20 years until he came to Tampa. But Tom, if you want this organization to change and change for the better, you need to be all in. You need to be all in, respectfully. This is not me coming at you. This is not me being any type of asshole. You want to be the reason this team changes and changes for the better. You want to see this team hoisting a Lombardi trophy on several occasions for years to come. Do the right thing and be 100% all in with the Las Vegas Raiders organization as a minority owner. You have the IQ. You brought in John Spytek as well because he has that IQ and is respected around the league. But you need to be all in, my guy. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let me try to see if I can send this link to Wasted if you would like to pull up. Give me 1 second, guys. Because I know I saw this before. Now I got to see if I can find out how to do it. Source, no. I'm trying to see where I can invite him. It's got to be able to do it from here. Oops, that's not it. We'll figure that out in a second. Let me see. Best quote of the presser is, "Don't let good players out of the business." Fucking, he ain't lying. Brady's giving Michael Jordan vibes before he sold the Hornets team hope, and I hope so too, dude. I hope you're wrong. I really do. Trying to see how I can do this again, because it's been a while since we actually had a guest come on. Give me 1 second, guys, and I'm sorry for the dead air. Like, I did not expect to see Wasted pull up in the chat respectfully. I want to see if I can add him in here right now for us. Here we go. Ah, there it is. No, it's not it. Well, no, I have it up. There we go. Let me send this to him and see if he's going to jump on in. I appreciate everybody in here right now, man. This has been, it's been a long time since we've had a solo dolo show, and we've talked about so much. We covered so much. We just had Giant Spytek take to the podium. I'm going to send this over to Wasted and see if he pops up. And if he does, it's going to be a splendiferous occasion. But I appreciate, we still have over 300 of you guys in here. If you haven't already, I don't know what else it is you're waiting for. We have almost 200 likes, but break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell, y'all. Rich, what up, bro? I just sent them the link, so we'll see if he pulls up. Brady needs that money to fight excess money. Jesus, Reese. And you had the East Coast Raider Nation taking over if he pulls up. The Beast Coast. Let's go. This is a conspiracy theory, but could it be possible that Tom Brady's sabotaging Mark Davis for more control? Brady and Tech were... No, I don't think so, V. I don't think so. Tom is too busy. I'm glad I didn't read that whole thing. And salute to you, Rich. I appreciate you pulling up, bro. It's been a minute. I hope you're doing well, bro. Customer service said this is amateur hour. Bye. Eat a dick. Shut up, Rob. Our resident meathead in the building, Mr. L.A. Rob. Yeah. I'm waiting to see if he pulls up. But I mean, in the meantime, we could do something else. We could have a little more fun with each and every single one of y'all. No Diddy if necessary. Vault line? Yeah? No? Thumbs up? Thumbs down? I sent the link to Wasted. I don't know if you've seen it. You know, old man and his technology. He'd be struggling sometimes. Hold on. Let me send him a text. Like I said, we might have somebody else that's pulling up in the near future. Not today, but yeah. We will do a mock draft, Brave. I'm not going anywhere. We're going to be on for a little bit. I know him, was it him, Graf, and Stu put on a phenomenal show earlier today. And I was like, you know what? It's been a minute. We've been on for over an hour already. I was like, I gotta get on. I gotta talk my shit too. And I want to hear from you guys. Salute to Demokes. That profile picture is fucking hysterical, by the way. He's pulling up the fax machine. He fell asleep while working his Joe, y'all are so bad. I hope nobody sent him that biopic comment the other day. Hummers, we're going to be doing mock Mondays. So this is going to be a part of it for our lives up until the draft. We're going to be doing mock Mondays. I actually did a mock draft earlier. I don't know if I still have it up. And I kind of did. I'm pretty sure I did best player available the entire way. And it was actually, they're going to get mad when I say this, but it was actually better than their mock draft last night. Just saying. Actually, let's see if I can find it. If I still have it. Do I? I do. Yeah, they might get mad when they see this. But let me think how I can do this without having any issues. Let's do the screen share. Yeah, we see these guys on the screen. Yes. So yeah, this is what we had. This is my, I guess we can call this, hold on. I guess this is going to be my official first mock draft 1.0, and this was best player available. With the number, hold on, let's do it the right way. With the first pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana. So, second round, we went defense. We took CJ Allen, the linebacker out of Georgia. We took Blake Miller, who we actually took in the mock draft we did last night, the tackle out of Clemson. We took Macaulay Kamara, the edge rusher out of Indiana. Michael Taft, this kid is a thumper at the safety position with our second, fourth round pick. Our third, fourth round pick, we went defensive line, took Tim Keenan, the third out of Bama. We took DeMonte Caphart, the defensive tackle. We doubled up there out of Clemson. I took Jaden Ott, the running back out of Oklahoma, and then finished up with a corner in Tyreek Chappelle out of Texas A&M. Overall grade was a A-. Pretty sure they had a B yesterday. I know the kid, I can't remember the last name, but he's in the he was available in the second round. I know who you're talking about. What do you guys think of that draft, though? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Or you can, you know what? Grade it. We're not getting Pickens, Rob, so cut the shit. And do you want me to do another mock right now? We could wait and see if Wasted pulls up. We could do a mock, and then we can open up the vote line. I would take the offensive minded. The fact that you guys fucking put each other in timeout now is the funniest shit ever. Johnny, they need to hire me, or somebody needs to hire me as a beat writer or something. I'll be straightforward with the questions. I won't sugarcoat shit. CJ Allen, good pick. Okay, thank you. So you guys want another? You guys want to do another one? Try a mock trading back. Salute to you, Oscar. I appreciate you. You know what? Run one. Let's run one. It's that time, y'all. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Got the number one pick. Wilkins playing with... Shit. They're going to cancel me. Oops. Hold on. Let me just fix this real quick. All right. Here we go. We're on the clock. We should have started mocks in week 2. We did get a super. I don't know where that came from. Salute to S. Dot on the $5. Need to enlarge just a little bit. Just to let you know, Hammer, if you don't pick an edge rusher with the second pick, you can still get Rodriguez afterwards. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Are we ready? Trade our third round? All right. Let's get started. This is, how many do we want to do? We could do 3. That's my lucky number anyways. All right. I'm going Fernando here. Give me Fernando. Second round. Surratt is there. You guys were asking about him before. Surratt is there. And I'll trade out of the number 1 at some point too. Where are we going here? We got Mendoza. Don't worry. We got Mendoza. Look. All right. You know what? I'm going to leave it like this so you can see what our picks are as we do them as well. We got Mendoza, right? We can go the route of chemistry and go Elijah Surratt. Not trading it all. 2 wins. Let that sink in. We got 3. You know what? I'm going Surratt. Just to have the battery right there. We're going to go Surratt. All right. We're in the 3rd round. I don't know why this keeps freezing up all of a sudden. I might have to close out a couple of tabs. And I don't know where the hell Wasted's at. Let's go to linebacker real quick. Oh, shit. All right. I know where we're going. Yeah, okay, true. I know where I'm going. He will be off the board by the next one. You know I had to go that route. Come on. All right. Looking. I do want to go O-line here. Nope. I appreciate everybody that's in here right now too. I really do. Let me see one more. You guys are saying D-line. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have it up like this, and we can see the best available. D-line. I'm gonna go Skylar Gilhoward. We saw what that defense looked like the other day too. Nicholas Singleton. We just talked about adding another running back. So we're good there. Jalen Kilgore, the corner out of South Carolina. So you see what we have so far. We got a quarterback, we got a receiver, we got a linebacker. We actually have 2 defensive pieces out of Texas Tech. And we saw what that defense did last week. That's fucking scary. Nicholas Singleton, Jalen Kilgore. So we can go edge here. See who's available. Or we can go another linebacker, which I might do. What? I'm going to go linebacker here. See who's available. Kyle Lewis, Aiden Fisher. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Still need a safety, too. Is Taff still there? Taff is probably long gone. Yeah, Taff is long gone. Isaiah Nwokobia. Decisions. These picks are 10 apart. I'm going to go safety here. And I'm going to go back to the linebacker. Kyle Lewis is still there. So is Aiden Fisher. I'm going to go Kyle Lewis here. And then round out with best available. I'm not going a quarterback, fullback. And I'm not going a quarterback. You know what? Joshua Braun. And that's it. So let's see how this one looks. Shit. This still got an A- off of this. And you guys see it on the screen. Fisher might be a little better than Eichenberg and Lindenberg. Damn. CGR said A+. Well, this one got an A- as well. The Texas Tech defensive duo kind of is what got us. And Isaiah Nwokobia as well. All in all, I still think that was a pretty good one. Nah, they didn't. And this is another reason why I don't really like doing the PFF one, because they're so like they're anal with it. I don't really care. Yeah, I said it. Like, it is what it is. Rob, shut up. Yo, you say it, True Raider, and I'm thinking of In Living Color. Hated it. B+, no pass rusher, very solid. I think receiver in fourth or so would make it a little better. Defense or O-line at 2. Yeah, and I've talked about that. I do want to try to go. I've talked about this earlier in the season, where I would like to go the route of an offensive lineman like the second or third round. Speaking of Texas Tech, did Tyree keep it? I kind of hope so. Somebody in the chat earlier said a depth piece. I wouldn't mind keeping him. I wouldn't. Pro Football Network mock draft and select consensus, not ESPN or PFF. Okay. As long as we pick Mendoza, we're getting a passing grade. There you go. Don't draft Sarah, get Omar Cooper later. Texas Tech, did we not learn from Tyree Wilson? Yo, salute to the streak is over, bitch. I don't care that I didn't win, but you sure as hell didn't. High Desert. Let's do another one. Oh, God. All right. He did. He absolutely did. Let's do it again. Let's run it back. You know what? Honestly, I don't want to trade out of the spot either. Do a post Max. Max is not getting traded. Johnny, don't start your shit. I mean, I can just go Arvell Reese and set us back another few years if you want. Yeah, when you're at the top, the only way to go is, hey, yo. Hey, yo. I don't know why I just did that, but whatever. All right, second round. I mean, I could go edge here. You know what? I could go edge here. I could bring in a former teammate of JPJ. Decisions. I could also go interior. I didn't like the way Spytek answered the Max question in the presser, though. Okay. Go DT. Okay. So I'll go Amari Washington. And then let's go to... Shit. But then I'm not going to linebacker here either. That's a problem. Hold on. Somebody said Trinidad before. Absolutely not. Trey Moore. I would have taken Anthony Hill over him. Where are we? Hold on. 4th round. I'm doing this one for I'm doing this for Graf. Katrin Allen, Michael Taff. I'm gonna go Taff because we do need a safety. We're still there. I'm not going that route. Went interior already. Fuck it. Go linebacker here. Do we necessarily see JPJ going back to center? After the conversation I had the other day, I don't, so I'm going to go center here. Cam Calhoun. I mean, I could go for Diego. Yeah, right. I'd rather shit in my hands and clap. Fucking prick. Edge. Let's see what this looks like. We got another A-. I actually like this one too. John, I brought him up before, David, and they went crazy. I mentioned him before, and everybody went crazy. Moore hasn't declared. He has until January 15th, and from things that I've heard and people I've spoken to, he might be staying. You guys can screenshot it and send it to Wasted. We could also send the overall grade. Hold on. Somebody screenshot that and send it to Wasted. He ain't gonna be too happy with it. He's gonna be like, enough of that crap. But yeah, that's another one. No, I'm not going for a tight end again. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. The receiver, I like him. I like him, but fit for us. Salute to the 300 and 200 likes we got in here. Get those up and hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a thing. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash a bell. Why with more? There's a lot of people that it's looking more and more like his family is locked in, the coaching staff is locked in. It looks like he's going to be staying one more year. But again, that can change over the next 2 weeks. So we shall see. Again, I talked about it in terms of the matchup this week. And I think ultimately this game is going to decide what he plans on doing in terms of a future. And we're talking about Dante Moore here. Depending on his performance, that may play a role and make it like kind of help in making his decision of returning to school for one more year or declaring for the draft. We'll see. John Bailey, I wish I had an answer for that. It's PFF. This is the type of shit that they do. You guys want one more? Do you want to open up the vault line for a little bit? We've already been on an hour and a half. It's been a long time since we've done the solo show like this too. So, and we just hit 200 likes. I appreciate each and every single one of y'all. Yeah. Yeah, Austin. Yep. True. Stop. So what do you guys want to do another one? Do we open up the vault line? Because I do want to hear from you guys right now. One more with trades. Okay. What are we trading? I'm curious. Let's fuck around with this now. What do we want to do? Trade back up into the first. I'm gonna do some crazy shit. Y'all are gonna hate me for this. Yep. For shits and giggles. Let me just see. All right, so they're not gonna take that. Who needs an edge rusher badly right now? Damn. All right, I'm not. I'm not fucking trading. God. I tried Dallas. Let's try it this way. Hold on. Dallas. You know what? I will give them next year's third. No, they're not going to take that. Detroit or the Eagles? You know what? Where's Philly at? Where's Philly? Philly's at 23. Yo. You know what? Offer this trade. Start draft. Got Mendoza. And we're still in the first round. Francis Mauigoa. Fuck it. I'm liking this right now. Let's see what this looks like. We got an A off of this one, guys. And that's after trading Max, as much as I don't want to trade him. I'd be trading him to Philly, move us back into, we'd be back at pick 23. Do you guys like that one? And somebody, if you haven't, somebody screenshot that one real quick. I'm gonna. Good, bad. What did you guys think of that one? I know. All right. So, what happened to you, grab Mendoza and trade back in the other rounds? So, majority of them, from what I saw, at least the mock that I saw from Tankathon was showing like, I think we have like the 4th pick in the 2nd round, then it goes to the 3rd pick in the 3rd round, the 2nd pick in the 4th round, something like that, if I remember it correctly. So, free agency receiver class is disgusting. Okay. So, the grade says it all. All right. So, let's go back. Go to the solo screen. We have covered so much, and salute to the 258 still rocking over 200 likes. There we go. Appreciate each and every single one of y'all. Let's do this. It's really 6 o'clock already out here as well, guys. Like, fucking crazy. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Good draft, needs 2 pass rushers. All right, so now it's about that time. We've been on for, I'm not leaving yet, by the way. We've been on for an hour and a half. Now this is your turn. Your time, rather. Oh, I forgot. We have an overlay for this now. So there you guys see it on the screen, front and center. There's the number to call. Call in, sound off. I want to hear from each and every single one of you guys and your thoughts on where we stand now. We have the #1 overall pick. Head coaching search. Who do you think should be the next head coach? What did you think of the mock drafts? Right now, it's all about you guys. 347-471-0361. Call in, sound off, y'all. Appreciate everybody that's still in here. And again, if you haven't already, break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell. No, in a bad way, David. In a bad way. Like, everybody's like, hell no. Raider Nation News Today. What's your name? Where you calling from?
RR24 in California.
What's going on, bro? And those in the chat, give me a thumbs up so I know you can hear him as well.
Let's see if they hear me.
Well, let's see. Thumbs up, guys. Don't hit the like button. Just give me a thumbs up. This sound off, bro.
All right. Well, let's just keep it as my avatar name, Rorschach. Let's just say this. Well, first and foremost, I hope you had a good holiday. Holidays, Hammer. Happy New Year to you, bro. I hope and I believe that 2026 will be a lot better for you guys in the future. Shieldmore, I really do. Your guys' content is always great, funny, intuitive, also very informal, because you guys know things that us, normal fans don't know, and we're sometimes wanting to know, a peek behind that curtain, and you guys kind of have some information, but you let out what you can let out, and that's just great. I mean, it's always up to the imagination of everybody else. But let's just say this. We were on that Pete train for 17 weeks, and we finally got off at that stop. And now that we're waiting for another train, or waiting for the other train to come pick us up, which is Hope, called Hope. And I'm going to say this right here, right now. We need to go young, bro. No more coaches of this guy's been in the league. It's not going to work. It's not. I've seen it too many times. I don't think it's going to work. We got to go young, like they did when they hired Gruden the first time. We need something like that. We need a young coach to groom this young quarterback coming out, if they do plan on getting him. And as far as Max is concerned, look, man, I've had the likes of seeing, Marcus Allen leave, Tim Brown wanting to leave, but then, Al Davis, made sure he stayed. I've seen other players leave, and it's heartbreaking, but again, it comes down to nobody's above the shield. But you see all these players leaving, and they do so much better somewhere else, and that sucks. But if Max doesn't want to stay here, I understand that. I get it. It's business. But, he keeps saying he just signed an extension this past season.
Yeah.
And now all this rumor stuff happens every year.
But
hey, they got to save him from himself too. He's hurt. I know he wants to play, and that's great. But dude, you don't want to go more damage to that knee than you already have. So that's why you're getting surgery again. But I mean, I like to keep him. Don't get me wrong. I don't want another Khalil Mack situation. But I mean, I don't have any control of that. Neither do we.
Right.
But as far as the coach and stuff, we need to go young, bro. We do. We need to just go the young route. I can, as a 50-year-old fan, I can get with that, that ride, that train, right? I can get with the youth movement. I can wait 3-5 years. I can get with that. And that's the only way I will. If it's somebody that comes like, Flores and Dayball and all these guys, it's almost in the back of my mind is going to be like, is this going to happen again? Is this what we're going at again? Again, we have, we change coaches like we change underwear, man.
Yeah.
and it's crazy. And to see this the last 20 years, something years, it's just been horrible, right? But like I said, the youth movement needs to come. It does. And that's the only way we're going to be able to sustain success. Look, it took Gruden a little while. He got his team, and then it just didn't happen. Could have stayed, but Al didn't want to pay him, and he thought he was, there's nobody above the shield than Al and all that other stuff. We already went through all that, but we do need the youth movement, man. We really, really, really do. We need some fresh, young blood, young minds to come in and just completely start from scratch. Hope they can, if we do get Mendoza, they bring him along, and we can have 10 to 12 years of success. That's what I'm hoping, man. And if that does happen, I'll be 60-something years old, because I can't wait anymore, bro. I don't think we all can. But that's all I got to say. This year did suck. To me, after week 2, I knew it was over. You see that movie all the time, and you already know what's coming. So that's why I would say, the mock draft from week 2 should have started doing that around that time, just to be funny. But man, I just think we're just tired, bro. We just need something new. We really do, and that's, I think, will get us back into being, not hopeful, but I don't want to use that word again, but to be more ecstatic. I believe we do, and just hey, we can ride with that. can roll with that.
I think a
But
decision is ultimately going to be made in the coming weeks. Like I said, you have the combine, which is around the corner. We saw
yes,
this last year when it was towards the end of January where they did hire John Spytek and Pete Carroll. So you heard John Spytek during the presser.
yeah,
They're going to be meticulous about this. Him and Tom Brady are going to be heavily involved with this decision-making process. So we'll just take it as it goes. And if there's news that breaks that, oh, this one's being interviewed, this one is coming into the facility, or this one's doing a Zoom interview, then obviously we're going to keep you guys up to date. But Rorschach, as always, appreciate your support, appreciate the call, and we'll definitely talk soon, bro.
all right. One more thing before I go out. Spytek did say that they've been already assessing the situation not too long ago. So I already think they already know who they have in mind, and hopefully it gets done before it did last year, and then we can start off with, hey, what the coach wants and what these, get the staff, and we can go there. I hope it happens within the next, 2 weeks, to be honest with you, not at the end of the month. Let's get the jump on everybody, right?
We'll see how
Let's
it
get
plays
that,
out, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, all right, Hammer. Hey, again, thank you for the time. I'll keep on watching. I'll have to fast forward because I don't want to hear my sorry ass voice. But again, thank you for the time. And again, I'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate
Rather
you,
than
bro.
later, man. And it's good to see you back, bro. There's always something missing. And you have been. I know you got to work, but it's good to see you, bro, in your show. And believe me, I'm always on when I'm at work, so that's where I'm at right now. But I like to see more of it. So keep it coming, bro.
Appreciate it, bro. Take care.
All righty, man. Okay, bye-bye.
Salute to Rorschach. It definitely feels good to be back doing a live, not just a game. And I appreciate everybody that's still here right now. We still have over 200 people in the chat. We have 226 likes. Get those likes up, y'all. And you guys see it on the bottom of the screen if you want to call in and sound off on today's current topics. And we got another one. Raider Nation News today. What's your name? Where you calling from? I think it's who I think it is. Is it?
Of course it's who you. Of course it is who you think it is.
New year.
Who else would it be?
New year. Same douchebag. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. L.A. Rob.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, bro?
What's up, man? Just here at work. Just had to do this real quick before these kids get out of class. I'm liking what's going on. I mean, I got no ill will toward Uncle Pete. Or Grandpa Pete, if you really want to go down that road. It just wasn't fitting the timeline. As far as the coaching carousel, I'm very curious because it all depends who we can get. Because the main focus that we need to get is someone that can coach up Fernando. That's going to be the main thing. As much as I like as much as I like Coach Flores,
right?
It's going to be a problem because if we can't get a good offensive coach that'll coach up Fernando, it's not going to matter. So if he can bring Dayball, of course, that's one thing.
Right.
The whole situation with Indiana's coach, that makes a lot of sense too. Especially, if we already have Fernando, you're coming with Fernando. But does he want to leave the program? And he worked under Saban too, as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be a good idea right there. We definitely need to get a pass rush to go with Max. Tyree looked good this past week, but I mean, how many times does he not look good compared to when he did look good?
How did I know that was coming?
Huh?
How did I know that was coming?
What, Tyree?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I like Tyree, but you know what? We got to move on. He could stay, but we need to make some moves. Like in your mock drafts, I said, I don't think you see my comment. The likelihood of maybe packaging one of those fours up with our second to move back up into the first, like at the end of the first, to get somebody like Cassius Howell or somebody like that from like Texas A&M.
It makes me want to grab another mock draft and actually try that shit and see if it works.
I'm telling you, man.
Hold on.
I mean, I think he had like 11 and a half sacks this year.
Now you said,
so the guy,
who would you do that with?
It all depends. Who's looking for a couple extra picks? I mean, I'm pretty sure the Rams might, and I think the Rams are going to be right there.
Where are the Rams?
We don't have to worry about.
Where are the
We
Rams
don't have to worry
right now
about
as
the.
it stands?
Huh?
I'm trying to see where the Rams are as it stands right now.
They're going to be like 29,
They're
30,
13th.
31, 32.
They're 13th.
Yeah. Well, that's their second. I'm talking about their actual first.
No, their first round is 13th overall.
They have two, don't they?
No, they only have one.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that they got the Atlanta one, right?
Nope. Right now,
No,
I'm looking at it. It says they have 13th overall, and that's it.
Oh, really? I guess they didn't have their own because I know that they have the 13th overall is the one from Atlanta.
So you said, hold on, let's try this real quick. One of our fours, and this year's
and
two.
Second.
This year's second.
Yeah. To try to get like Cassius Howell.
Yeah, they're not taking that shit.
Yeah, because Max is a dance partner. Unless you want to pay Hawkinson, I'm not sure. Or Hawkinson, Hendrickson. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try that shit right now.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel that. Do you think that they're gonna? So you don't think they're gonna move? You don't think they're gonna move JPJ back to center?
Conversations that I've had, and I had an off-air conversation earlier, which I can't really go into detail about, but things that I'm hearing, like I think it's ultimately going to be up to the next head coach, and whoever the line coach is. But with this regime, it was never going to happen. From the things that I heard.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, like going forward, like for example, like I kind of hope that they kind of look at maybe bring in Incognito as the O-line coach would be nice.
That'd be great.
But I think that I can say with guard. If that's the case, we have to go get Linderbaum because I don't think he's going back. I really don't, especially after the loss. They might not even have their head coach.
And that's why I brought up John Harbaugh earlier. Some things that I heard earlier today. They're like, "Oh, would you?" And I was like, "Me personally, no." But like, I had to ask you guys and see what your guys' thoughts were, and a lot of people right off the bat like, "Fuck no." I'm like, "All right." Just thought I'd
I
ask.
respect Harbaugh. Just no, he's not. I don't think it'd be a wise way to go. I think that if we keep JPJ at guard, go get Linderbaum, right?
Yeah.
And then put Charles Grant at right tackle, and then see what you got, and then maybe Caleb Rogers at the other guard spot. So there's a lot of moves.
That would be interesting.
There's a lot of moves that we can make. Yeah. And I still think that we need to go get a corner, and of course we need to go get George Pickens.
We're not getting Pickens. Stop. Pickens is probably going to get tagged. We're not getting Pickens.
Well, what do you got against Pickens? He just wants to play. Let the man play.
You know what I have against Pickens. Don't start your shit.
All right, come on.
Don't make me. Don't make me put my glasses on and give a fucking history lesson on our diva-like receivers. I'm not going to that shit again.
To be fair, he hasn't been very divish in Dallas, has he?
Do you think he would actually behave himself in Vegas? Because I don't.
Who's gonna be? But here's the thing: who's gonna be the coach? And maybe he comes to Vegas. You know, Brady fucking lays the law down. You know what I mean? You never know. I mean, I'll also take AJ Brown. We need a one.
You know what's funny? I mentioned AJ Brown a couple of weeks ago, and I was having a conversation with Graf, and Graf was like, "Nope." I'm like, "Okay."
Well, because people think that he's a diva in Philly. I don't think so. I think he's pissed off because all they want to do is that stupid tush push. I mean, they're not even giving the ball to Barkley enough.
Well, that was the thing. This was the thing with Philly, and I said this to some people throughout the season that I know they're Eagles fans. I was like, look, they're going to kind of just coast for a little bit, and then the tail end of the season is when they're going to turn it on. They're going to have Saquon more involved in everything, and it started to happen, and now that they're in the playoffs, it's like, just see what they do.
Yeah, it's got some moves, but I mean, with the cap that we have, Okay, hypothetically, would you take Pickens if you knew you weren't going to get the drama that you're worried about?
It depends on. It also depends on how much it's going to cost us.
I'm probably going to say $30 million a year.
Maybe.
Because 26 years old, the guy is ridiculous. And here's another reason he might behave. You never heard anything like that in Georgia. You hear him acting a fool in Georgia with his boy Brock Bowers. You might want to come play with Brock again. Just a thought.
We'll see. Rob,
Just open up your mind to it. Instantly, you're like, now I'd rather shit my hands and clap.
No, I don't know if I don't know if I want to go the route of a free agent receiver that's a top tier receiver like that again, and then him be frustrated and him want out and him cause a whole bunch of antics. I don't know.
I mean, I get it, but hypothetically, who's going to be our number one? I mean, I like the receivers we have, but we need a real number one, and we're not going to have the ammo to get a true number one in the draft.
Well, you know what? Sitting here with the number one overall pick, there might be a free agent receiver that's going to be like, hey, I want to play in Vegas. Like, I know what my worth is, and I know that I could be that guy for this quarterback. So, you know what?
Oh, true.
The door's open.
We'll see who it is.
The door's open.
Yep. Well, it's good talking to you, brother. We shall reconvene later. I'm excited, man. The hope of the Raider Nation's back. I can't believe we're actually going to get a franchise quarterback. The last time we had was Jamarcus Russell, who I saw in person, and he was terrible.
God fucking help me. Bro, I'll talk to you.
All right, brother. You have a good one.
Later. Salute to LA Rob. Good God almighty. Hour and 52 minutes. We've been on for almost 2 hours. 229 likes. I'm loving this right now. And again, it's been a long time, a very, very long time. If I can, we will make this a regular thing on the Mondays. We will go back to doing the mock Mondays throughout this off season. Tuesdays, if I can, I'll do my best to come on and give you guys that good old fashioned Shield more content. Salute to Bushido Brown. What's good, bro? Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. But I think it's about that time. Again, we've been on for almost 2 hours. We talked about a lot. I put a lot out there for you guys. We heard from Spytek. We did a couple mock drafts already. Again, this will be the mock Mondays, so make sure to stay tuned. On your way out, if you haven't already, do me a favor. Break them thumbs. Hammer that sub. Smash a bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions in the house that Hammer built by the nation, for the nation. Raider Nation News Today. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID or not, you should always remember to wash your hands and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. Stay committed to excellence. Of course, as always, on my New York peace, love, and positivity. And there's that part too.
And when I leave, come together like butt cheeks.
Till next time, y'all, we outro. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday.